Good morning, Christians. Today I want to talk a few minutes about God's attributes. One in particular, his omniscience. Omniscience means he knows all things. All things. What you think, what I feel, what other people feel, what they all think. He knows all things simultaneously. He knows all things that have been, all things that are, and all things that shall be. He knows everything. How many ants you stepped on today. He knows how many miles you put on your car today. He knows every single detail of every single life as it pertains to everything in creation and everything outside of creation in eternity. He knows it all. But the question, most people don't question whether or not God knows all. Most people seem to have an understanding that if God exists, then God should know all things. And that may be true. However, the issue really does not come down to what God knows as it pertains to your salvation and faith and all these kind of things. What matters is, in terms of how we understand this doctrinally, is how does he know all things? We know that he knows all things, but how does he know? Simple. He knows all things because everything that takes place was determined by him. Everything you do, the number of breaths you take today, the number of steps you take today, God knows because he's the one who determined it. He's the one who said, you are going to do this, you are going to do that. You may be asking, how do you account for all the things that go on in the world and all this kind of stuff if he knows? And, because the fact of the matter is, he does know. And he knows because he set it in motion. He himself is the first cause of all things. But when it comes to all of what you consider to be tragic, or all that you consider to be evil in the world, I can tell you, God is behind it. But God's not the author of it. And there's a very big difference in there. Now that's going to sound weird to a lot of people, but I want to explain that in another clip because 3 minutes is not going to cut it. But just know this, God knows all things because he determined all things.